I'm Kimberly Mall. I'm a reporter with PR Week, and I'm here with Armando Azarloza, the president of Access Agency. And Armando, we're here at this Hispanic PR and social media marketing conference. And I guess, what's the purpose of this conference, and what do you hope to learn from being here?
Well, I think the purpose of this conference is for us to showcase the Hispanic market to companies and to individuals that are interested in opening up new opportunities. You know, in this country we have an amazing ability to kind of regenerate ourselves and reinvent ourselves, and there's no better opportunity than the Hispanic market today for marketers. And the quicker people realize that, the faster they can open up new markets, new opportunities, and obviously sustain growth in their businesses.
And what are some trends in the industry right now? What are the hot issues that marketers are talking about?
You know, I think there's two issues that are really topping the conversation. One is language. I think language is a recurring issue that people still don't quite fully understand or have their heads around. And I think there's a lot of talk right now about language neutrality. In other words, the idea that language is not necessarily the most important vehicle to reach the Hispanic market, but simply just one vehicle. That culture ultimately is really the main force. So being in culture. And I think the second part of it, of course, is social media. I think Hispanics are on social media, participating in that, the blogosphere as much as anyone else is. I think that in many ways we're not first adopters, but we're very, very fast adopters.
Right.
So we are everywhere. There's a galvanization on the social media landscape. So really, we're really talking about the two ends. We're talking about in culture, and we're talking about in line, which is the idea that you can communicate to Hispanics both from traditional perspective, traditional media, and also online media.
What can be done to really encourage corporate America to embrace multicultural marketing? How can we get more of that in the space?
Well, I think you have to show them the opportunity. I think, back in 2001 when the census came out, people kind of recognized the opportunity that was in front of them. I think it was still a little bit down the road, if you will. But I think today, with the impending census that's coming out in 2011, you're going to see the second coming. And the second coming is going to be this resurgence of interest in the Hispanic market. Will be, well over 16–17% of the population projected. Fastest growing minority population in the United States, fueled by both immigration and birth. There's a secondary debate going on about first generation versus second generation and immigrants. So there's a lot of exciting new opportunities for companies. So once companies begin to see those numbers and they begin to see the impact that Hispanics are having on purchasing power, the impact they're having on online communication, and what that means to them, they're going to realize that the opportunity is in front of them. And if they don't take advantage of it, the competitors are going to take advantage of it.
It's almost about the business opportunities and not necessarily just the diversity and inclusion factor.
Absolutely. I mean, I think until we begin to change the debate and really understand that it's really about business innovation as opposed to diversity and inclusion, we're never really going to get a ground foot on there. I think companies that embrace the idea of having a diverse workforce for a business strategy, then rather than just simply allowing them to feel good about what they're doing internally with their employees, until they do that, they're not going to really be an inclusive organization. But I think that we can look at it as a business innovation that's going to open up new markets for them, new opportunities, cement growth within a customer base that is very, very loyal. At that point is when you're really going to see the embracing of the opportunity in the market.
And what about the PR industry and diversity? I know that tonight at the conference they're talking about the Hispanic PR census. What are you seeing as far as diversity within the PR industry, and are we at a good place yet?
I think in general, for the most part, I think we do a decent job of bringing people into the workplace. We've got a lot of young people that are really great, talented individuals that we're learning from, people like me that are learning from them. Where I think that we fail, and I think there are some challenges ahead of us, is how do we get them up into the middle and upper management? How do we mentor young people to stay involved, to empower them? If we empower them, then at the end of the day, they're going to feel empowered to create something for the company. I look at myself, and I'm an example of that. Probably 7 or 8 years ago, I stuck my head up and said, I want to do a Hispanic marketing practice. And one of my bosses said, okay, you go ahead and you do that. And I was hopeful that I was going to be successful, but obviously wasn't sure. But they empowered me with the opportunity. And then, so I've been lucky enough to go up the ranks in my company with very supportive bosses and management in our parent company. But that's where I think we failed. There's not enough people like me that have been given that opportunity to go from entry level up to middle, up to senior management.
Well, thanks so much for taking some time to talk with us. Enjoy the conference.
Thank you.